So high ticket sales completely broke me, and then allowed me to get to a point where I now make over $40,000 per month. And I want to sit down in this video and explain to you what I mean by this. How did high ticket sales actually break me, and why is that something that you will have to go through as well if you want to get into this industry? Okay, let me explain here. A lot of people right now think that high ticket sales is only about learning the right script and then getting on the right company to work with, getting the right offer, and then you're making 10k, 20k a month. That's what you've been told by these other gurus online. That could not be further from the truth. And I'm saying that as someone who's myself got into this space as a beginner without any previous experience, made my first 10k, 20k, 30k, 40k, and now on track to make over 50k this month right now in this industry. Is that the scripts that you follow, the offer that you're on, that's like 20% of the game. The big thing that's gonna dictate how much money you actually make, the common thing for all the top guys that you look up to that actually succeed in this industry, is who they are. It's about learning how to truly kill the old version of yourself. That is how you make the most money in high ticket sales. And let me give you an example as you really get this point. Okay, so when I first got into high ticket sales, I learned the scripts. I invested a lot of my money into a mentorship to learn from one of the best guys in this industry. So I had the scripts, I had all the processes, like everything, objection handles, the scripts, like everything that you thought that you need to have, that I thought I needed to have. But I came into my first offer and I struggled. I couldn't hit my first 10k a month for a bit because I was simply not the person that I needed to be to make that happen. And here's why. Because when I myself was on a call to look at buying a coaching program during this exact same time, what was I doing? I remember I hopped on a call and I was like, I want to buy this program, but I need to save up a bit more money. I need to wait a bit longer, and I need to, what was the last thing? I need to, I had something I need to get done. I need to get like a commission check under my belt, something like that. It was some reason I was pushing it off. I think it was, I need to get a commission check under my belt, and then I was going to do the program. Then guess what? When I showed up on my sales calls the day after, the week after, and someone gave me an objection of, I need to think about it, I need to save up a bit more money, it wasn't natural for me to challenge that person because I was not in alignment with what I wanted that person to be doing. I could not be that person who challenged them because I was not the person that I wanted them to be. This is so, like, when you get this, you will make so much more money in high ticket sales, and you will be able to land a role so much faster as well, and actually get in good companies and perform those companies. It's not about the scripts. You can have I can give you the best script right now, and I promise you, you will not outperform someone who has the right identity but doesn't even have a script. And I've seen this because I've coached guys one-on-one in the space all the time, and I see guys that don't have the right process, they don't have the most dialed-in script to follow and the most perfect process that they're following on their calls, but they have identity. They're exactly aligned to how they want their prospects to be showing up. They're acting in that alignment. They're pushing themselves, they're investing into themselves, they're doing stuff that they're scared to do, they're acting on their highest self. And because of that, the script don't matter. They show up to a call and they close. Realizing this was like a big thing in my journey, because I went from struggling on this offer, not making really any money at all, and being able to like not really close whatsoever. Like I was making like 2 to 4k a month my first 1-2 months on that offer, to then hitting my first 10k a month. Why was that? It wasn't because I worked harder, I took more calls. If anything, I actually took less calls, but my closing rate went from like 35%, 40% up to 50% plus, because what I did was I started aligning myself. I invested into a program without hopping off the call and thinking about it. I ended up investing on the first call. I invested 8k, pretty much all the savings that I had at the time, into a program to get better at sales when I was already in that first offer. I started doing shit that I was scared to do. For example, like I started cold approaching. Me and our friends started cold approaching out in Medellin, Colombia. So doing this stuff that I was like scared to do in all areas of my life. And then guess what? I showed up in my sales calls with 10 times more conviction, certainty, and that's when my income started skyrocketing. That is the game. Identity, that's what drives everything. If you right now, you're trying to get into high ticket sales, you're trying to get into the space, and you're not willing to invest in yourself, you're not willing to make quick decisions, you're not willing to challenge yourself and do the stuff that you're scared to do, you do not belong in the space, you will not succeed in the space. And that doesn't mean that you can't do it, it means you just have to be willing to change how you operate and change how you make decisions. That's what it took for me. High ticket sales, it's not about working harder, it's not about having scripts, it's about who you are. When you have conviction internally and you know, like deep down, the right way of making decisions, you know, like because you hold yourself to high standards, that is when you can transfer that over to a prospect and be the leader that they need on a sales call to challenge them enough to actually help them to step up and overcome their limiting beliefs, their fears, which is what high ticket sales is about. It's not about following a script and just getting some pain and getting some goals. It's about helping people change how they make decisions fundamentally. And people always have resistance towards doing that. And that's why you need to be a strong leader, you need to be confident and have conviction to actually make it happen. So I'm gonna share a very concrete thing that I did, a very practical thing you can apply right after watching this video, that I did that gave me this conviction, allowed me to show up and now close at over 60% on offers that I've been on and make over $40,000 a month in this space. And that's so simple. It's by simply holding your promises to yourself. And realize like why this is so important, because when you're breaking promises to yourself, when you say you're gonna do something, when you say you're gonna wake up at a specific time, or you say you're gonna, you say you're gonna invest in yourself, you say you're gonna take action on your goals and you push yourself off, you're actively telling yourself that you're not worthy of holding your promises to yourself. What is then happening? You're creating this distrust between your words and your actions. You stop trusting yourself basically. And that's the worst thing you can do. When you stop trusting yourself, you lose all conviction, you lose all belief in yourself. Knowing that to be true, you can also shift this and become extremely, extremely strict with what I call having a high say-do ratio. When you say you're gonna do something, you do that shit, no matter what. That's where I started. I started just setting out very, very simple things that I was gonna do every single day. In the beginning of my journey, I was doing a certain amount of role plays every single week, showing up to coaching calls with my mentor and asking questions, and reaching out to a specific amount of companies in this industry to work with. Simple as that. That's all. Like I just set out these 3 different things that I was gonna do every single day, no matter what. Specific number of all these different things. And that was my only focus. I was just hitting that every single day. And that builds like, it might sound like very like a small thing, but it builds so much trust with yourself. Like it's absolutely insane. Because imagine after like a week, after a month, after 2 months of doing that and never missing, knowing that, okay, I have 2 months of consistently like hitting my targets over and over again. It makes you feel like this fucking killer. Makes you feel like an absolute killer who can just go out and do whatever the fuck you want. And you can hop on a sales call and challenge someone who's scared to take action on their goals without any problems. I hope this generally makes sense. And the way you can take action on this right now is by literally just sitting down and writing out what are the non-negotiables, what are the things that you need to start doing every single day that will get you to your goal. And it's focus on doing those inputs. And I promise you will notice that conviction start building. When you wake up on time, when you do your gym session, or you need to do outreach, you need to work on the skill set of learning high-tech sales. When you start doing that every single day, you will start improving so freaking quickly. It's not even gonna be funny. Hope this makes sense, hope this is helpful for you. And yeah, if you have any questions to me directly, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram, or if you want to work with me one-on-one to get into high-tech sales. I have a bunch of companies that are hiring right now, so if you want to get placed and get trained one-on-one, book a call down below and I'll see if I can help you out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Focus on who you are, fuck the scripts. Let's get it, ciao.